What's up, guys? I'm back with another banger deck profile. You know what I'm saying. This time I'm gonna show y'all my new Ice Barrier deck. I've been trying to build this for a while now, since the structure deck came out. First day I bought the 3 copies, but I didn't really have all the other cards I needed. And today I decided to take it to locals. And got second place. Me and first place were actually tied because we did get a draw in the third round, but you know, it happens, especially with the new rules, but it's all good. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna bring y'all this new deck profile on Ice Barriers. A lot of people talk down on Ice Barriers, think it's a meme. Honestly, this new deck with the new support is just super broken. You already know Water is known for hand loops. So, yeah, Water is just always a good deck. And with all this new support, it's just broken. Ice Barriers is no longer a meme, guys. This deck is actually viable, and it's not too expensive. Some cards are actually kind of expensive, but, you know, it's mostly cards that you'll have laying around. But, yeah, this deck honestly is broken in my opinion. And it has a good grind game. Has explosive plays, can go first, hand loop, can set up negations, can break an opponent's board, can OTK, like it can do everything that you want a deck to do. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into it. First, I'm playing 3 of the main monster, Revealer of the Ice Barrier. So if you guys don't know what this card does, you can discard 1 card, special summon the Ice Barrier Tuner from the deck, which is just extremely broken, get you started with your combos. Also, while this card's in the graveyard and an effect of an Ice Barrier monster that would have you discard a card, you can banish this card instead of discarding. So yeah, this card is just broken, takes this deck to the next level right here. You always want to see her. Next, I'm playing 3 Speaker for the Ice Barrier. Another broken card. Free special summon for a level 4 if you control an Ice Barrier. You can also banish her from the graveyard if you control an Ice Barrier monster. Special summon a level 1 token. This card's insane as well. Can combo off so well. Yeah, playing 3 of her, must have. I'm also playing 2 General Wayne of the Ice Barrier. I like this card. He's got a Floodgate effect, where all spell and traps sent from your opponent's field to the graveyard are banished instead. And also, if you control an Ice Barrier monster and your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this from the hand. And when this card is special summoned or normal summoned, you can add a Ice Barrier spell or trap from the deck to the hand. So yeah, going second, this card is insane. Has a Floodgate effect. It's a good all-around card. But 2 is the perfect number because you don't always summon him, and you don't always have the chance to summon him, and you don't want to see him opening first because you could see another combo piece. But just the ability to search any Ice Barrier spell or trap is just insane. So 3 of him. For the smaller Ice Barriers, I'm doing 2 Prior of the Ice Barrier. So he also has a special summon effect, but usually we don't use this because when you do, you lock yourself from special summoning level 5 or higher monsters during this turn. But the field effect, you can tribute him and special summon any Ice Barrier from the graveyard. We got Hexa, dump an Ice Barrier, copy the level 3 or lower. And then all monsters. Yeah, while you control the Ice Barrier monster, all monsters your opponent controls lose 500. It's not an activated effect. So that's pretty good as well. Yeah. 1 defender. So yeah, he's just a tuner 3. And then while you control the Ice Barrier, your opponent cannot declare attack with monsters that have the attack greater than this card's defense. And then last Ice Barrier monster, Sujin of the Ice Barrier. So she's kind of like Prior, except that you can special summon her from the graveyard by reducing the level of one water monster you control by 2. and it has to be a level 3 or lower. And then you contribute this card, special summon a level 5 or higher Ice Barrier from your hand. Don't really use that effect too often, but you can revive her and then go for combos with that. But you cannot use that effect the same turn it's sent to the graveyard. So you can just set it up for next turn and get some plays off with that. And yes, I know I'm not running Geomancer. And I did top without Geomancer, but I'm still looking for a Geomancer. Nobody seems to have it. I can't find it on TCG Player. And it only has the super and the dual terminal. Like, I wish they would have just reprinted him, because honestly, it's not that good of an effect. The only good part is just that you discard water by cost. So I will be adding that card to the deck when I do get that card. Then that's it for the Ice Barrier monsters. Next, we're going to play 2 Deep Sea Divas. I just feel like 3 is too much, because you don't want to see multiples. Usually you want to you want to use your normal on your Ice Barriers, like Revealer. But if you don't have the Revealer, Deep Sea Diva is also a nice normal summon. It can bring out your Neptibus, which we're playing one of, and it can also bring out Hexa to give you an Ice Barrier monster, so you can special summon your other cards. So obviously we're playing one Neptibus. Neptibus is just broken. Y'all know what she does. Dragoons 3, gotta have it at 3. Broken card. Combo off with that. Combo with this. Just crazy. Next we have 1 Moulin Glacier. Get to discard 2 from your opponent's hand. And in this particular build, I was still able to hand loop a lot of the time during the tournament, but I just had a hard draw into her, or I would just, instead of adding Neptibus or adding my Lapis Dragon, which we also run one of, I would just add my Moulin Glacier and then go for the hand loop like that, instead of the regular hand loop combo that you guys have seen on YouTube. Next, obviously, 1 Lapis Dragon. Next, we have our Needle Fiber target, Kriston Seatree. So he lets you, during your opponent's turn, synchro summon by bringing level 4 or lower from your graveyard, and then they get banished when they leave the field. So he's just broken. You get to get 2 synchros in your opponent's turn. Then last, for the monsters, 3 Ash Blossom. You know, Ash Blossom in every deck. Ash Blossom can stop every deck. So you gotta have her. None much to say about that. Next, we're running 3 Medallion of Ice Barrier. The search card. Not a once per turn, so this is just broken. Not much to say. Searcher, that's not once per turn. You gotta have 3. Then we have the Monster Reborn of this deck. Freezing Chains of the Ice Barrier. And also another effect that not too many people know is if you control 3 or more Ice Barriers, Ice Barrier monsters you control that were special summoned from the extra deck are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Oh no, they are. If you control 3 or more Ice Barrier monsters, the Ice Barrier monsters you control are unaffected by the activated effects of your opponent's monsters that were special from the extra deck. Okay, but that doesn't really come up too much. Usually you just use it to revive a level 4 or lower Ice Barrier monster from the graveyard. And then we have another combo piece that fixes your bricks. And also is just a good card. You can also banish it and add a Ice Barrier from your banish or graveyard to the hand. And the activation effect is that you contribute any number of Ice Barrier monsters special summon from your deck, that many monsters that are level 4 or lower Ice Barrier monsters with different names from each other during the main phase. You can banish this, add 1 from grave or banish to the hand. Just fixes your hands up, helps you next turn gain resources back, and combo off again. Just broken. That's it for the Ice Barrier spells. Then I have 1 Monster Reborn to extend, 1 Call by the Grave to stop my opponent's hand traps, and then one Dark Ruler, no more, in case I go second, because I do not have droplets, and I prefer this over droplet because I don't want to get rid of cards in my hand if they have multiple monsters that can stop me. This kind of just says no to everything that he has. Unlike droplet, where you got to discard stuff, even though you really only need sometimes 2 cards if you open your full combo of Dragoons and Revealer, but I just like to have all the extra cards in my hand, so I prefer the Dark Ruler no more. And that's it for the main deck. Then for the extra deck, it's kind of a little bit different from other regular builds. This is just my personal preference, and I feel like it works best in my opinion. For my XYZs, I'm running the Bahamut and the Totally Awesome, then one Abyss Dweller, just because he does gain that 500 attack and boost your other waters as well, if I'm correct. Yup. And just Dweller is good against a lot of decks. Sometimes, depending how you open, you can get your Totally Awesome and your Abyss Dweller on field. Yeah, and Dweller did come up a couple times. He's just busted. Good XYZ, rank 4. Then for my Link monsters, I am running one IP Masquerena, because sometimes you don't want to use your Marincess right away. Or you don't have to. You can just go into your Hulk, and then you can also have an IP with something else. And that lets you go into my last Link monster that I run for the IP, which is a Nightmare Unicorn. So, yeah, I just like these two. You get to spin something back from your opponent. A lot of times I did have her out on field in a Hulk. I was able to spin, discard one, special summon my Sentry. Where's he at? Yeah, I don't see him right here. Special summon my Sentry, so get to shuffle back a card, Synchro Tuner from the extra deck, and Synchro up with Sentry for one of my tech cards that you guys are gonna see here, because it works well with my Hulk Fiber. But yeah, those are the only Link monsters I'm running. I might bump the Coral up to 2, maybe, probably not, just because I do like this little small engine, and it lets you save your Coral. Or you can just go into this later on, past turn 1, after you already use your Coral, because Coral does lock you out of special summoning anything that isn't water for the rest of the turn. So for my synchros, I'm running Herald of the Arclight, and the reason I'm running him is because of the effect any monster sent from the hand or main deck to the graveyard is banished instead. I like that effect. I like that he's also a negate, and he works well with Desert Locust. If they choose to discard a monster, it gets banished. If not, they discard a spell or trap, which usually is good for you. And yeah, it's just awesome in my opinion. Then I am running a Powered Insectron for your basic Boros Savage play, with your shooting Riser Dragon. Basic, one shooting Riser Dragon, one Boros Savage Dragon. He came up a couple times. He's pretty good. Then I'm running one Crystal Wings Synchro Dragon. The reason I'm running him is because I don't have all the Crystrons I want to run in the extra deck. But also I do like him because he's a monster negate, and he gains attack, so he can get over a lot of stuff. But I probably will take this out for a Dragite, the level 8 Synchro Emancipator, or Adamancipator, just because that is a Spell or Trap negate. But yeah, sometimes Crystal Wing does come up, and he is just broken. Crazy card right there. Then last but not least, the 2 Trish. This Trish right here is insane. Banish 3 cards, does not target, and it's from the field. Broken. I played against ABC. This card is just super broken after you force them to tag out. Banish the 3 materials. Now next turn they can't make the fusion unless they already have combo pieces in hand to make the fusion. Then when she leaves the field, she can bring a Trish from grave or extra deck, skill drain your opponent's board, and this Trish becomes 3,300 if I'm correct. Yup, 3,300. Also, all your opponent's monsters gets half. So this card is just insane. Trishula is insane always. That's why she's at 1. Hopefully she comes up so I can play more of her because I just like her. And that's it for the extra deck. Total of 15 cards. Yep, I'll just lay them out here for you guys so you can see my whole extra deck if you want to copy it. So that's my extra deck right there. Love it. Wouldn't have changed anything during the tournament. Then for my side deck, this is a little bit weird side deck, mostly preference for me. You guys can play whatever you want depending on what the meta is, where you play at. But this is what I chose to play today, was 3 Drolling Lock. Just because there was some Virtual World, there was some Zeldic, Zodiac, ABC, Cosmo. Even though this doesn't do anything against Cosmo, but I'm just letting you guys know like what mostly the meta at my locals is. They got some Mystic Mind players. Then we got a couple random like just rogue decks like Madolche, the Plunders. We got Dragon Mage, Dragon Lynx, also that play there. But Drolling Lock is just too strong. Then I have 3 Artifact Lancia, one of my favorite hand traps. 3 Nibiru's. Then that's it for my monsters in the side deck. Pretty standard right there. Then I have 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Twin Twisters for back row decks. Then I'm running 2 Forbidden Chalice for VFD, or just any other deck that has a problematic monster that I want to negate the effect. If I don't draw the Dark Ruler no more, usually I put these in and I keep the Dark Rulers. But this is good against VFD. And then 1 Imperial Order, just because if I open combo an Imperial Order, there's not much my opponent can do. I'm going to hand loop them. I'm going to set up a Toad and maybe a Savage. I'm going to discard 3 cards from them. And then flip an Imperial Order. That's basically GG right there. So, yep, that's my Ice Barrier deck, guys. Should be 40 cards main deck, 15 here, 15 there. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys decide to test it out. I will be putting in my Geomancers when I get them. So if you guys have Geomancers, play Geomancer. It just extends your play so much better. You can combo so much easier and you don't have to limit yourself on your Dragoons. But yeah, if you guys want to see a combo video, leave a comment down below. And I will get that for you guys. So, yep, until then, leave a like, subscribe, you know, I'm out.